Do you want to know something genuinely horrifying about the sacrifice of the cross? Having to do with the resurrection and with the deity of Jesus Christ. Because in my time studying and learning and searching for him, I have discovered something horrible that not a lot of people like to think about. So God tells us both in the book of Revelation and in other places in the Bible, he says that he is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He sets up a time scale for us so that we can understand or begin to understand a few things about him. He tells us that before him, no God was formed, and there will be no God after. Right? And in the context of this, we start to thinking about God and about the first three words in the Bible, which are in the beginning, right? The Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But think about it. So before he created the heavens and the earth, there has to be a template, right? You can't just... If there is no water, you don't make a boat, right? And if you made a planet, right, and nothing exists but the planets and the stars and the things inside of the universe, well, they don't have anywhere to go. They need somewhere to be placed, somewhere that's going to hold them in that suspension, which we know as open space, right? And in order for there to be space, and in order for this place to be differentiated from the place which the Most High dwells, well, there have to be a set of boundaries and function, right? And so the first thing God creates has to be space and time, because he needs a template to set the earth on, to make the heavens. Otherwise, when we think of nothing, what we think of is a large amount of lightless, empty space. That's not what nothing is. When you fail to imagine anything at all, when your mind is completely blank, that's the closest you can imagine to true nothing. Because it's non-existent. It does not exist in order to be imagined. So if the Lord creates the world and the light and everything that populates the earth, he has to make a place for it to go. This place is what we call the universe. It's what we call existence and reality. And reality operates underneath the scale and function of time. Right? I'm here today, and I exist today, and I was here yesterday, and I'll be here tomorrow. But because I exist within the realm of these predetermined boundaries set by God, I do not see tomorrow, and I do not see yesterday. I am alive and conscious only within this moment of this day. But God is not limited by those things. He came from outside of these things and created these things, this base template from which we spend our lives and live out our days. But if that's the case, well, then it changes our perspective and helps us to realize that if God is not bound by the rules of the creation which he has made, because he does not abide here. And the reason he doesn't abide here, especially nowadays, is because of the presence of sin in ourselves and his presence, which is holy and good. They're like water and oil. They do not mix. They don't form together. Because there is a part of us that is irrevocably rejected from nearness to him. So he, in his fullness, remains outside of time, which means for him, time is a non-linear function. If he is outside of time and space, viewing us, well, then that means that for him, yesterday, tomorrow, and today are all one and the same. Stay with me now. Try your hardest to understand. Because I want people to know this. And I think he does too, otherwise it wouldn't be going through my head as often as it does. We have to ask ourselves, if God has a non-linear perception of time, meaning he is viewing all points in time and is able to move forward, backward in time indefinitely, well then, being the beginning and the end of all things, that would mean that it's not that. So when Jesus is on the cross, he looks up to the sky, he says, Ilahi, Ilahi, lama sabachthani. Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? Right? And a lot of people like to say, oh, he's quoting Psalm 22, and he is. But the fact of the matter is that if God views time in non-linear functions, well, then it would be more accurate to say that everything that happened before that moment, it's not that it was designed to lead up to that moment, it's that God was aware of this moment from the moment that time began. He is in all places at time, at all moments in time, actively, now. He experiences all things from all times in his one perfect recall of everything. Do you know what that means? It means from the very moment he created time, he was there in the garden with Adam and Eve, aware that they were going to fall to sin, and he was there at the end, after watching everything unfold, and he was there at the cross. So he has orchestrated the entirety of everything that happened in the Bible, not from beginning to end. He's working at every point in the Bible at the same time. And that's horrifying, because that means it's not that he went up on the cross and sacrificed himself for us. It's not that Jesus went up on the cross. It's that he's there right now. It's that the Lord and his Son, who are one and the same, have been actively in that pain and aware of that pain since the beginning of time, and will be until the end of time. Imagine, think of it like this. Imagine for a second that you had perfect recall of everything that's ever happened to you in your life. Every time you broke a bone, scraped your skin, every time you fell over or had the wind and breath knocked out of you, every time you were afraid, and you were able to perfectly recall everything from the day you were born to right now. Now, instead of perfect recall, imagine that you felt that pain from the day you were born to where you are right now, and everything that would occur after, forever, all at once, wrapped together. Because you're present in every moment. The same God that lives tomorrow and watches us and guides us tomorrow is the same God that did the same things for us yesterday. I know it's a lot to take in, and it might be hard to understand, but I had to put it somewhere. God bless y'all. And I pray for His grace and peace over all y'all. Every last person on this planet needs to come to know the glory of Jesus Christ. I love you. God bless.